Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. President Bola Tinubu has reiterated his administration's resolve to pursue a comprehensive economic security framework for the country, while addressing fundamental challenges and creating a fair and equitable system in which all Nigerians can thrive. The president stated this while hosting leaders of Afenifere, the Apex Yoruba Social Cultural Group, at the State House in Abuja. Kike Lomo Okere has the rest of the story.
Speaking when he received leaders of Afenifere leaders, the president says his administration is re-engineering Nigerian finances and seeking to boost the purchase power of citizens and spread prosperity down the line by instituting a credit system where the element of cash is not an impediment to a significantly enhanced standard of living for all citizens, adding that Nigeria must secure itself economically first before it can achieve any of its more sophisticated objectives.
We have the solid mirror that has attracted a lot of insecurity, scavenging, and others. Then we have special forces that is facing that now. We will have an effective forest guards that will be, fully in control of our forests in the country.
Speaking on the security, the president declared that those who threaten the sovereignty of Nigeria will pay a heavy price.
From hosting flags on the Nigerian properties and sovereignty, we have degraded terrorism to a level that they could not threaten the sovereignty of this country any longer.
Earlier in his remark, His Royal Majesty Oba Olufalaye commended the president for his courageous decision and for the rehabilitation of the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos, as well as other critical ongoing projects. He urged the president not to relent in ensuring fairness and equity for all Nigerians, while noting the importance of a constitutional amendment to devolve more powers to states. President Tinubu, however, thanked the esteemed delegation for their prayers and support, assuring them that he will not relent in his resolve to advance Nigeria. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
The Armed Forces of Nigeria has condemned the act of citizens taking up arms, saying it's unacceptable and it's against the constituted government. Director Defense Media Operation Major General Edward Buba made this known at a strategic meeting with journalists in Abuja, saying anyone or group that contravenes the provision of the Constitution is inviting severe military action and would be dealt with decisively. Kike Lomo Okere tells us more.
While keeping the journalists abreast with the activities of the troops in the theaters of operations in the last 2 weeks, the Director of Defense Media Operations urged the civil populace and civil society to galvanize support in a whole-of-society approach to facilitate a total defeat of terrorists in the country, adding that the military is working decisively to kill the terrorists, dismantle their networks, and create conditions whereby they cannot carry out acts of terror or harm the citizens.
Accordingly, it is unacceptable for any person or groups to take up arms against the country. And anyone or group that takes up arms against the country, be sure that you are inviting military action, and we will decisively take actions to deal with you. The one that happened in Ibadan, are very fortunate that we did not get to the scene as the first responders. Wearing uniform and carrying arms you're a dead man. And now I'm speaking from the military point of view on these matters.
In the week under review, the director reels out that troops neutralized 192 terrorists and arrested 341 persons while rescuing 62 kidnapped hostages.
3 PKT guns, 15 fabricated guns, over 900 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, among others.
Troops in the Niger Delta area discovered and destroyed 99 dugout pits, 36 storage tanks, and 192 cooking ovens. During the process, the troops recovered 349,970 liters of stolen crude oil and 112,135 liters of illegal refined automotive gas oil.
The troops destroyed illegal refining sites. Troops arrested illegal bunkers in Ugu and Ethiopia West local government area of Delta State. Thereafter, troops conducted raid operations to southern Ijaw and Akinima local government areas of Bayelsa and Rivers States. Overall, the troops of Operation Delta Sea recovered over 790,000 liters.
The Military High Command says it will continue to fight and defeat the enemies so as to create a safer environment for citizens. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kike, for that report. The National Assembly has again postponed the resumption of plenary to April 30th to allow for the full renovation of both main chambers. The Senate and House of Representatives has shifted resumption after its Eastern recess to April 23rd. It announced the rescheduling of its plenary resumption. The notice of postponement of resumption by the Clerk of the Senate, Chinedu Akubueze, also stated that lawmakers would also be reconvening back to the main chambers upon resumption. Additionally, the extended timeline will allow for more concerted preparation for the legislative summit on state police, as well as the one on tax reforms, revenue enhancement, and digital transformation coming up in the next 2 weeks. The Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Betokun, has withdrawn all police officers attached to the embattled former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. The Nigerian Immigration Service had earlier placed the former governor on its watch list after the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission declared him wanted in connection to an alleged case of money laundering to the tune of 80.2 billion naira. The Commissioner of Police, FCT CP Bennett Igwe, has expressed heartfelt gratitude on behalf of the management and personnel of the FCT Police Command for the kind gesture of the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, for fulfilling his promise to the command. The minister had directed the FCT command to hunt down and arrest or neutralize 2 wanted bandits, kidnapping kingpins who had been terrorizing Abuja, particularly the Buhari, Dutse, Alhaji, and Kubo axes. It backed a decisive action directive by placing a bounty of 20 million naira on 2 notorious and most wanted kidnappers on February 14, 2024, and has matched his words with action following the arrest of 2 wanted kidnappers. Bayelsa State are yet to assess immunization due to the terrain and riverine nature of the state. Media aide to Bayelsa Deputy Governor Duabora Atese in a statement stated that UNICEF also donated 6 brand new water ambulances both to boost immunization coverage and primary care delivery service in riverine communities of the state. Speaking during the donation ceremony in Yanangwa, the UNICEF country representative in Nigeria, Kristen Mandote, applauded the state government for prioritizing healthcare delivery services, especially in primary healthcare sector. She noted that 6 water ambulances donated by UNICEF and its partners were meant to close up existing gaps in the health sector, as Bayelsa still had about 20,000 children yet to be reached for immunization. No fewer than 16 persons were feared dead and 20 others injured when a commercial vehicle plying the Baga Kakawa Road in Kakawa local government area of Borno State drove over an improvised explosive device suspected to have been planted by ISWAP terrorist group. Credible military intelligence sources told Zagazola Makama, a counterinsurgency expert and security analyst in the Lake Chad region. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board JAM has directed all computer-based test centers owners to arrest any parent who is found near any of their facilities during the 2024 UTME exercise. The body said all arrangements have been concluded by the conduct of the 2024 UTME, which will be held in over 700 CBT centers across the nation. The directive was issued at the final briefing of the computer-based test center owners, which was held virtually. The board said the directive became necessary following the instructive deposition of some parents during the board's previous exercise. A former speaker of the Kaduna State House of Assembly, Yusuf Zalani, has denied claims that the Ninth Assembly under his leadership approved $350 million World Bank loan obtained by former Governor Nasser El-Rufai. The Governor State House of Assembly had set up a fact-finding committee to probe all finances, loans and contract projects awarded, as well as other financial spending and abandoned projects initiated by the immediate past government between 2015 to 2023 under El-Rufai's administration. The Speaker of the Assembly, Yusuf Laman, inaugurated the 30-man committee during plenary. The constitution of the committee followed a motion moved by the member representing Kaura constituency, Magu Yusuf, asking the House to investigate all loans obtained by El-Rufai's administration. As the National Executive Committee meeting of the People Democratic Party is ongoing in Abuja, 60 opposition lawmakers in the House of Representatives seeking the removal of the party's acting national chairman, Umar Damagun, warned of the dangers of delaying the decision till August 2024. The meeting was concluded by the All Progressive Congress and loyalists in the PDP backing him up to give him room to use the extensive period to inflict irreversible damage on the PDP by filling over 19 PDP state executives with pro-APC members as State House officials. NEC members must stop this madness today if they want the PDP to survive. Troops of the Nigerian Army deployed in the northeast have rescued one of the kidnapped students from Chibok Secondary School, Lydia Simon. A statement from the Department of Army Public Relations said Lydia, who was a serial number 68, was rescued along with her 3 children by troops conducting Operation Desert Sanity 3rd. So far, out of 271 students that were kidnapped by Boko Haram insurgents, 57 girls escaped shortly in 2014. 103 were released through the intervention of the federal government. 20 others were freed by the efforts of the state government, while 92 students are still in captivity. The Federal High Court in Abuja has dismissed an application by the former governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, challenging the powers of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to persecute him. Obiano, who was arraigned on January 24th, is standing trial on the 9 charges bordering on alleged 4 billion naira theft. But in plenary, objection filed by the defendant through his lawyer, Onyechi Okpazo Zan, he said the EFCC lacked the powers to persecute him. He also urged the court to quash the instant charges against him, describing them as an abuse of court process. You're watching Midday News coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using that Global TV and the handles now showing on your screen. When Midday News return, federal government deploys technology to detect sudden power drop. This and other more stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Midday News on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. Ukraine's prime minister has stated that there will be a third war if Ukraine loses its conflict with Russia, as he urged the U.S. Congress to pass a long-stalled foreign aid bill, denies Shomhel Express careful optimism that U.S. lawmakers will pass the hotly contested measure, which was $61 billion earmarked for Kyiv. The House of Representatives is set to vote on the package this Saturday. The proposal includes funding for Israel as well as the Indo-Pacific. Russia says any fresh American aid for Ukraine will not make a difference on the battlefield, as situation on the front line is looking unfavorable to Kyiv. 2 German-Russian men were arrested in Bulgaria on suspicion of spying for Russian planning blast and arson attack to undermine Berlin's military support for Ukraine. The pair, identified only as Dieter S. and Alexander J., were arrested in the city of Bayreuth in southeastern Germany. The main accused, Dieter X, is alleged to have spotted potential targets for attack, including facilities of U.S. armed forces stationed in Germany. They're suspected of having been active for a foreign intelligence service in what prosecutors describe as a particularly serious case of espionage, according to prosecutors. Dr. X have been exchanging information with a person linked to Russian intelligence service since October 2023, discussing possible sabotage acts. Over now to business. In a bid to address the recurrent collapse of Nigeria's power grid, the federal government has deployed a new technology to detect and respond to sudden drops or dips in power generation across the country. Nigeria witnessed its 6th power grid collapse of 2024, the preceding day, as electricity generation on the system collapsed from 2,583.77 megawatts at 2 a.m. on Monday to 64.7 megawatts around 3 a.m. before the grid was restored later in the day. Though the Transmission Company of Nigeria attributed the cause of Monday's grid collapse to a fire incident, it had constantly blamed gas shortage for power generation and vandalism of power infrastructure for the recurrent cases of grid collapse in Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria has classified reasons for a significant decline in the nation's foreign exchange reserves, asserting that it wasn't primarily aimed at defending the naira, as commonly believed, but rather to partially repay debt owed to creditors. The bank further expressed its desire to minimize its involvement in the market, aiming to foster a scenario where prices were determined through the interactions of willing buyers and sellers. The CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso gave the explanation during the ongoing International Monetary Fund/World Bank spring meetings holding in Washington, D.C., the United States. On the entertainment, American rapper Nelly and R&B sensation Ashanti have announced their engagement and the impending arrival of their first child together. The couple shared the news in an interview marking a new chapter in their relationship. The singer revealed her excitement about impending motherhood, emphasizing the joy of sharing the experience with her family, fiancé, and devoted fans who have supported her throughout her career. Ashanti and Nelly's journey to parenthood comes after a long and storied relationship. The couple initially began dating in 2003 but parted ways in 2013. In sports, Mikel Arteta has urged Arsenal to use the pain of the Champions League quarter-final exit against Bayern Munich to fuel their Premier League title bid. Arteta's side failed to clinch a first semi-final appearance since 2009, as Joshua Kimmich's second-half header gave Bayern a 1-0 second leg win and a 3-2 aggregate success. It was a bitter evening in Munich for Arteta and his players, who had dreamed of leading Arsenal to their maiden Champions League crown. And with that, we end the midday news, and it's coming to you from the nation's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Can you follow us across all social media platforms using Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.